Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Sunday Thing. You are watching this on June the 7th, 2026. I hope you've had an amazing week. I hope you've had a fantastic week full of awesome stuff. And if you haven't had such, I hope that next week is the one that brings you a lot of joy. Let's talk about this past week, because as my university responsibilities are getting lower and lower, and I can focus on my other projects and hobbies, I'm finding myself more and more wanting to make more videos. This is becoming like an addiction and a problem right now, as well as just tell more stories. And so while usually within the body of the Sunday Thing, there's like maybe two mid-roll video episodes of the adventures of the past, this time we have three. So without any further ado, let's go back to Monday. Monday morning, woke up to a huge car blocking, hold on, let me show you. There was this big construction vehicle doing stuff to, I don't know what. But today is Monday, and it's a good Monday because, I don't know, it soothes my brain, because today is June the 1st, and June is the 6th month of the year, and it's a Monday, and it's like we are halfway done with this year, which is kind of cool. And I have to do something, because I do something specific every first day of each month. So let's go out, and I'll show it to me. They're doing something up there. Whatever this is, they're doing something up there. Pretty sure that they're like installing some kind of a vent system. I'm not sure, but there's a ton of like vents on the floor there, and I don't want to film them working. It's weird. But let me tell you about my personal rituals, and I have never spoken about this before, about the first days of each month. There are a number of things that probably combined together is going to make this year, make 2026, probably one of the, if not the craziest year of my life. And I don't want to get to some of the bigger and more important ones right now, but I want to talk to you about why I've decided to make the Sunday Thing, the weekly stuff, a ton of videos, a ton of documents essentially, and a ton of things that I could use to chronicle my life when I look back at this year, and when I look back at what 2026 was all about. Now, even though I have not really done a very thorough and good job when it comes to showing off my city, showing off Strasbourg, the city is really gorgeous. It's very picturesque, very colorful, very, post-cardy. And after filming the big vlog for my Belgium trip, I realized, wow, everywhere is beautiful, but home is just something else. And so one of the things that I have decided to do is I would go to a specific part of town every first day of every month, and I would take an exactly identical picture. Like I would take a photo exactly. I'll try as my best to, because I have created some kind of a visual landmark that I only know about, and I would take an exactly same picture. I haven't spoken about this because this is going to be a part of my year in review in December, 6 months from now, and I feel like after 6 months I can speak about it a bit. It's not anything important, but it's all of these things, for the most part, are exercises in discipline, in making myself do something regularly to get out of the rut. Because when you're just teaching, and when you're going to class, doing the meetings and coming back home, it tends to become a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It tends to become a little bit too repetitive, too tedious, too samey, and I like to break the mold, even though I'm doing the same thing every month. But it's a matter of doing something on a discipline, like going to the gym, like, I don't know, having an apple every day, or having a bunch of fruit every week. And in my case, taking an identical picture on an identical landmark every first day of a new month. All right, I took the picture I wanted, and I think I've done a good job, because even though I don't have the previous pictures up with me right now, I feel like the angles and everything are pretty much identical, hopefully. Now I'm gonna go do some grocery stuff. I'm pondering whether or not I should go to the gym today, because it's very possible that I have a very urgent meeting at university. And I don't know which one comes first. Like the month of June, like early June, even late June sometimes. It's so hectic. It's end of the year. Meetings happen left, right, and center. And if I'm at the gym, it's going to be hard. So I'm going to plan my plans. And the majority of my grocery shopping is now finished. Everywhere I go, there's construction noise. I really hope the audio is coming through clearly, even though the microphone on this camera is pretty decent. I apologize for the possible high noise floor ceiling. I don't know. You know what I mean? And usually Mondays for the past 6 months, it's always been about choosing the correct song for the performance of the week, because, well, I have had the pleasure of being a part of, directly and or indirectly, of I'd say maybe 300 plus music pieces in the past 20 years. And pretty much every song has a story, and some of those stories are things I can talk about and I want to talk about, and some of them are stories I will probably, and some of them are stories I'll probably not tell or don't want to tell. But the point is, every song has a story, and I have to choose a song that I think I can tell a good story about, which has put me in a bit of a pinch, because I'm kind of torn between two songs. One very, very old, and one very, very new. As old as something that probably I haven't published it. I'm not sure if I published it, and so new that the song is going to appear on my next album, which hopefully should be out. I want to bring it out for my birthday. That's kind of my big plan for November, or the end of November, because the album is also the album has a booklet, a bunch of artwork. It's going to be I want it to be a big deal, because it's a project I always wanted to do in a I always wanted to do something huge, something big, something crazy, something not extravagant or something like that, but something that is, I don't know, it is epic. See another construction, another place being responsible for a ton of noise. I think it's obvious that these constructions are necessary, otherwise why would people go through all of this pain and noise for something optional? But like summertime here in France, I think maybe it's a European thing. I'm still too new to this continent. Been here only for 5 years, but it feels like they tend to do all of their constructions near and around summertime. They actually have a word for it in French, like summer repairs or something, which is cool. But still, I can't understand. I mean, in this specific case, they're actually building the place. They're installing windows and everything for it. So they're building. And I think this place that they're making, I think it's a place for people with housing problems or with fewer privileges, things of that nature, which honestly I fully approve, because helping people is always good. Helping people means that someone somewhere is going to help you back. One thing that is clear is, with this noise, with all of this construction stuff going on, it is going to be extremely hard for me to record any kind of acoustic instrument or even vocals. I could do like an in-the-box electric guitar or piano thing, but well, until I decide what song to play, I'll just be scheming for the rest of today while getting some of my other university stuff done. Let's see what happens.
And det här var det helt happens on Monday.
Now, for this week's performance song of the week, I decided to go back in time, over a decade ago by this point, and revisit one of my personal favorite songs that I actually had to kind of force into my old band's first and only album. The song is called I Belong with the Dark, and on its own, in my opinion, it's one of the cooler songs that I've ever written. But the full story of it is that many years ago, let me just put it this way, many years ago, I've had this obsession with musical theater and musicals in general. And it was one of my biggest passions to try and write like a musical concept project, 20, 30, 40 minutes of music nonstop. And I had tried a couple of times, but there was this thing that I had the idea for after reading a bunch of Gothic literature, some Poe, you know, Edgar Allan Poe, the dude with the crow. I was fascinated, and at that time I believe I was a senior at my bachelor. And I wrote this whole thing called I Belong with the Dark, about a guy who is trapped in a time loop trying to find his way out of it, and whatever happens, it's always nightfall time, and he goes back and he ultimately accepts the fact that whatever happens, he has a short time on his earth, and he asks the love of his life to just go for a walk a bit before he remembers he belongs with the dark. And I think it felt like a good story at the time to tell. And so the last song of that entire project was called I Belong with the Dark, and we did kind of a super cut of it. We dragged it out, put it in the band's album. So it's Tuesday, by the way. Hi. The construction work outside is over, I think, for now, or maybe they're taking a break. And this has allowed me to, get down to Cubase and start laying down tracks for the performance song of the week. And I'm noticing with my fans and everything off, it is a scorching, like it is hot inside. So I have a very limited time budget before the sweating begins to lay down the tracks. And, I think I have to do it in maybe 1 or 2 go. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be really, really, really fun. Okay, I believe in myself. Microphone is here. Actually, let me show you. See, my mic is here. It's targeted at 12 to 15 here in the acoustic. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm trying to get a very rough overall mix sounding well sounding mix. I can't even words today. And one thing I absolutely love about these kinds of like haphazard, random, quick recording is that a lot of times, because of the presence of some kind of a constraining, factor element, the recording sounds a lot more human. It sounds, even though I think I've been even though I didn't have metronomes in my ears, but this is a song that I've played for hundreds of times, and I generally have an okay sense of rhythm, and it's so nice to hear. It sounds so human. You're going to hear this at the end of this week's Sunday thing. Probably it will sound. It's going to be one of those songs that sound very human, and I love it. Not that other songs don't. This one is just like you are in the room with me, and I'm trying to capture that in the rough mix that I'm doing here right now. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I love working under constraints and under pressure. Let's go. Okay, so I just finished recording the vocals, the harmonies, and the bass guitar. The bass guitar for this week's performance song of the week. And as I was recording everything, it started like thunderstorming here, as I think you can probably see. And I kind of want to record the video, if I can, with like a silhouette vibe, with rain on the focus, on the vocals at least. I don't know how to set the shot up, but I think since it's kind of crazy in terms of the lighting, if I point the camera exactly, I think I can do it. If you see the vocals of this song as a silhouette thing, then I will have achieved what I was planning for. And if you don't, then I guess I'm not good enough for it. Or the lighting situation it wasn't what I was expecting. Let's see. See, this is the angle that I was talking about. I was hoping that I could do like a silhouette thing, kind of like this, but I don't know. I don't think it's a possibility. I don't think the lighting is. I think it's too bright and too dark at the same time for it. I guess I'll wait a bit, but I don't see it as a possibility. Oh well, there's always other weeks. Another thing that has been happening within the past couple of weeks Since Vic, my old friend and my buddy, he moved to Mexico a couple of days ago by the time you're watching this video. We've been looking for another bass player to kind of like get the show rolling, since in a couple of weeks on June 25th we have a show to play for university, and we found Simon. We played with him and he really matched our vibe very well, and as a thank you I decided to, you know, get him some nice, give him a little something. You know, it is so cool. After almost 5 years, whenever this happens, I remember the first time I heard it. So every first Wednesday of a new month, exactly at 12, like at noon, at high noon, they would sound the air raid sirens in Strasbourg to commemorate the World War days. I remember the first time I heard it, I panicked because of that was the kind of a thing. I had never heard something like this in real life. I had heard similar sounding things in video games that I play, but this was like a mind blown. And so I hope I've been able to capture it with the camera mic. Not that they will ever watch any of my videos, but I have a huge problem with a couple of the UPS drivers in my city, in the city of Strasbourg, France. And that is, every time, without missing a beat, I order something from anywhere where they send the stuff back to me, or where they send me the stuff through UPS, like without missing a beat, I always receive a message or an email that we're sorry we couldn't deliver you your package because, and get this, you were not home. And 2 or 3 times out of all of these past few years, I wasn't home, and the package that I had ordered, I think, was larger than my PO box. Makes perfect sense. I thank them. Muchas gracias. However, today the package that I had ordered is like this size, and I know for a fact that I was home because they sent me the message around 12:15, 12:20, like around noon. And the previous video that you watched in this segment, I filmed exactly at 12 o'clock. How do we know that? Because of the air raid sirens in the memory, in memoriam, World War, whatever. It's fine because the walk from my place to the usual UPS pickup location is very nice, it's very scenic, very vibey. I like the walk, it's really good. The problem is with the deception. Why are you lying to us? Or to me specifically? Anyway, I have like around 40 minutes to get to the place before they close down shop. Let's go. Am I making a mountain out of a molehill? I don't think so, and it's fine if what I'm ordering, which generally isn't something super important, it's usually music related and it can wait. It's okay if I have to walk like 10-15 minutes to pick it up. The only problem for me is the ethics. If the message said, hey, we're sorry, we couldn't deliver it to you, no reason, that makes sense. At least legally and ethically, they're very clearly saying that we did not want to see your face. Questionable, but acceptable. But when they say you were not home, and when they say we came and we couldn't find you, that is what kind of, you know, grinds my gears. When you Google the city, this picture always comes up too. It's called St. Paul, called Church of St. Paul. there is one other context that I can understand why the UPS people might prefer to take the packages and the parcels to a different location, and that is maybe they're friends with the place, and by delivering the goods to the third-party location, maybe the third-party location, I don't know, makes a tiny amount of money, something like an affiliate link or something like that. And if that's the case, I understand, I completely support this, and it's fine. It's just the annoying, deceitful message that kind of irks me. I'm nearly there. I actually used to work here for a couple of years inside this place. Kind of cool. The UPS pickup thing is just right there. And usually by the end of any of my complaints, any of my grievances, ultimately I just realized sometimes I complain a lot about unbelievably unimportant or, random things that have zero impact on anybody's life. And I keep forgetting that a few years ago, my living conditions, my mental conditions, everything in between was just so different. And now I'm complaining about a UPS delivery from Germany taken to a place slightly of 15 minutes of walking from my place. What is going on here? Anyway, the package has been obtained. I'm gonna go home. Actually, I'm gonna show you a couple of things inside it. I think it's gonna be interesting. So see you soon. All right, back home, and let me show you what I got. So I got two adapters. These are not really super important, but I wanted them. I wanted two of them. I got a cool note stand or mic stand light. This was something I really needed in this place because I have that, well, you don't see it. I have that little fake vocal booth thing that I sing in through. I don't know what adverb to use, but I use that. And usually I don't have a lot of lights on, and so if there's a specific thing I need to see, I can't see it very well. And there's these things that I always wanted to, for two reasons, not just for what is happening with the light. Oh God, sunlight, that is what's happening. And so it has two lights, power button, and a clamp. And the clamp can be on top of like a note stand, a mic stand. And a lot of times when I want to read something before going to bed, like a book or something, I have like the main light of my apartment on, and I'm sounding super lazy by saying that, but when I want to get deep into reading and everything, and I feel sleepy and I feel like, all right, I need to have the lights off right now, but I have to stand up, then like go to the thing, turn the thing off, and then come back. Something like this above my head while I'm reading is going to be absolutely epic. So that's the lights. And finally, and this is probably the more interesting thing. Oh, how does this turn off? Oh, okay. Is since we found our bass player for the show, and maybe even for more than just the show, I decided to thank him and give him a little nice gift. So I got him a wireless guitar unit, like a guitar transmitter receiver thing that I use in the band, as well as Alexan. And so I'm going to meet him, I think tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. Give him this so he can like understand how the functionalities work and then charge it up. So hopefully it's going to be a nice little thank you gift to Simon, our bass player. I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about, and so I guess back to me in the future. I need to stop buying toys. I have one more toy to buy though, which I think is a very important toy, but in my defense, I was left unsupervised. We are getting close to the ending of this week's Sunday thing. Thank you so much for watching it if you're still watching this whole thing. If this kind of storytelling and this kind of vibe matches your vibe, I would be super happy if you could do the YouTube thing and subscribe. I want to see if we can get the channel to 500 subscribers, even though a lot of people say that that number doesn't really mean much. It's the amount of engagement with your videos, but it's just something that kind of soothes my brain, since I've been working on this mission for a while and I'm taking it a bit more seriously. I have so many stories that I want to tell, and I just need to find time to make videos about them. This little thing up there on my case, we put together a video a couple of days ago to celebrate the ending of one of my most favorite video games of all time. I'm making a video on, generally speaking, the role of video games in aiding with mental health, which it's been a very good and kind of a brutal journey to revisit some things from the past. But doing that as well, there's this video that I'm working on, which is the next gig vlog. Alexandre was here and we were working on one of the songs of the new album that I'm working on, where she's prominently the main vocalist on. I think the gig vlog should be up next Monday or maybe Tuesday, so keep an eye out for that. It should say Gig Vlog 5.0, working on a new song. Something like that, I believe. That's the title. What else? If you are also seeing suddenly a rainbow taking place here, sun is kind of getting out behind the cloud, like it was behind the clouds. And I have these sun catchers that are breaking the thing. Anyway, we have reached the end of this week's The Sunday Thing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great time. You have a lovely, lovely morning, evening, day, night. And I hope to see you next week. And I hope you enjoy this small rendition of one of my favorite songs, I Belong with the Dark. Stay safe, stay sane. See you very soon. Drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. And yeah, peace.
Save me from this pearlescent memories. Hide me from the turquoise of history. Dream us for golden wings. Hold me until it's dawn. Free me from the ties that bind to the past. Entangled in a barren land of fire. Fly me across the ages. Love me until I'm gone. Slowly, discreetly, eternity is mine. Hailing, wailing for a timeline so obscure. Lend me your soul for a walk before I remember I belong with the dark.
I have no idea if this looks good. If it looks good, yay. If it doesn't look good, I'm sorry, I did my best. The weather was trying to cooperate with me. So, see you next week.